Bucks has been given some sad news that MIX96 is closing down. And you asked me to put on the...
Is it closing down?
I don't know.
Not if I have anything to do with it. There is a campaign. So my colleague, Councillor Richard Lloyd, leader of the Town Council, has been hugely involved in that campaign, which also involves hundreds, in fact, thousands of members of the public out there. There's a really strong feeling about MIX96 being part of the town's identity. It's not just a music station that has a bit of local news and traffic news. They support so many town council events and other events throughout the year. They give politicians like me a platform when we really need to raise a point about something that's going on in the town. You know, we can go to the local studios and do an interview, and they really are part of our community. So they've been sold to a company called Bauer Media, along with about 30 other radio stations up and down the country. Right. And Bauer's plan, is to basically have one sort of national brand, greatest hits radio, playing all the same music, broadcast from London, with an occasional local news bulletin and the traffic news being geared to the local area. We think that MIX96 is so much more a part of Aylesbury than just what's going on down the A41 or the A418. So we really want to keep it in its current form, or as close to that as we can. You know, it's been part of the town since 1994. So really there's a petition. I think it was round about certainly the 90s. We've heard a lot of stories from people who've had their events supported, good causes they're raising money for, all kinds of things, and they turn up to events and help to promote them. Our annual Live in the Park concert, they sponsor the second stage, which gives up and coming local acts a chance to perform on a big stage in front of thousands of people. So it's really great what they do. So we launched a petition.
Okay. Nearly
3,000 people have already signed. Okay. We got posters going up in windows, Save MIX96. Today, myself and Councillor Richard Lloyd wrote a letter to Bauer Media, and we've sent it to our local MP, Rob Butler, and also to Ofcom, setting out all the reasons why MIX96 is different and unique to this area, and we want it kept that way.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me, the way I want to build FBL broadcasting is to take on a radio station, because I used to be a director of the student radio station when I was at uni.
Okay.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, FBL is not in that financial bucket yet to be able to. Seems these things seem to be happening too soon, unfortunately for me. But yeah, to me, radio is a, especially local radio. I used to work on Mercury FM, St Albans. Used to work there as part-time while I was working for Nationwide Building Society after I left uni. And they amalgamated, I forget what group it was, but they moved to Watford. And, you know, people, again, did ask and did say, like, we're losing our radio station. And I, you know, as much as you might write the names on the petition, it all comes down to money, and it all comes down to the way they want to work and how they, you know, how they get their listeners. So,
yeah, I mean, they do work to a national formula, but interestingly, there's a couple of stations under their umbrella.
Okay.
Pirate Radio in Cornwall and one in Lincolnshire, I think, where after really strong local campaigns, they've been allowed to keep a lot more of their local identity.
Right.
So I don't think we can't reverse the sale. I don't think 3,000 local people however willing, are going to have the money to buy back and run a radio station. So we are appealing to them, and we're going to meet with them, or we want to meet with them, talk face to face or over a video link if it has to be, to say these are the reasons why you need to think differently about MIX96 and keep it in its current form.
Do you know the best way to deal with scenarios like this is for the people to actually own their own radio station? So radio stations, I mean, the equipment's the most expensive thing. Obviously the license as well. And that's why, for instance, you know, I want to stretch my media empire, as they say, FPL broadcast, into radio as well, because live streaming, for instance, live in the park and proms in the park, and, you know, I like to give people the visual, but also, you know, people are driving, they're doing, you know, going about their day, and they don't always want to be watching, especially if they're in the garden. And it's a way of obviously pushing content out as well from our media point of view. But yeah, it's usually that, I mean, unless they get some kind of money, I don't think that they probably will turn around and say you can keep the identity. But again, you know, I could be.
We'll see. Yeah. There's one thing you can say about Aylesbury Town Council. You know, we if the fight is a difficult one, it doesn't stop us fighting it.
I can agree. I mean, I've been talking to Ruth about.
What's that thing that John F. Kennedy said? We choose to go to the moon, not because it is easy, but because it is hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's not quite on the same scale, but we know it's going to be a battle, but we're going to fight it to the last. And who knows, if it turns out that one day we end up with Aylesbury People's Radio, there might be a job for you in it.
Oh, really? Oh, well, there you go. Got my own brand. We might be in competition, you know, FBL Radio and Aylesbury Town. But again, you know, if I can help in any way, I will, because a radio station, a lot of people obviously listen to MIX96, and it is a shame that, you know, they are closing down the brand. And it's
got really the listening figures.
So 42,000
JDAR or something. You know, it's got really good reach in the area, but it's not. I know it's about the money and it's about the numbers, but so many people have told us in response to this campaign during the lockdown, they've listened to the radio, they've listened to MIX96, and they've found out about what's going on locally, what groups are available to help, and all the good things that are going on. And that's where local radio really comes into its own. When you've got a difficult situation, it helps everyone pull together.
Yeah. Oh, somebody's at the door. Hopefully my son will get that. Yeah, I mean, local radio, again, I worked in the radio as a student, and then obviously after I you know, left uni, and it can help so much. It's the way you can obviously send out reporters as well. It's quite cool because they can report on whatever issues. Oh, somebody knocking on the door with a visor on. Interesting. Sorry about that. But yeah, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And as much as
thank you. Well, if you put a link to the petition and the Facebook group, if anyone out there wants to help us and get involved, that'd be great.
Where's the link? Where do we need to go to get this link and sign the petition? I
will find it and send it to you. I don't know if we can do it live.
No. Is it on the Aylesbury Town Council, or is it?
It's not. I'm just saying if I can.
I'll tell you what.
Can I copy a link into this chat? This is going to be quite challenging.
I don't know if that's the private chat or that's the whole chat. But
private, I think private chat is illuminated. If I send it to you, see if you can do something with that.
Oh yeah, look, it's popped up. There we go.
So it's a sign me petition.
Is it anywhere? I mean, getting used to this new software. There we go. There we go. It's out there. There we go. Signme.org.uk 1661. That's it. Cool, excellent. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if you can do anything. But as always, I always think of the contingency theory, which is if they're not willing. I mean, was MIX96 making money? That's the question. And if it was making money, why are they getting rid of it? Is it because it's not producing them enough profit, which is one of the biggest things I would expect from a company point of view, which then makes you think, well, okay, if you looked at the figures and you looked at, for instance, it was making a profit, but not a huge amount, would it be viable to run it as a local community sort of radio? But then it also brings you the thing, who are you going to bring in to look after it, and how are you going to do that? Because somebody has to be the program controller, somebody has to be the director. It does take a lot of work. I mean, trying to deal with all those students many years ago when they were all bugging me to be a DJ, which is quite funny because I was also a DJ. So I understand. I also understand it. This is another reason for FBL. You know, if people want to come and help out at FBL, we're always willing to accept help. We always like that, especially when like live in the park events as well. That's really draining. I mean, that's all the way from Friday through to Monday. We work that one, but I spoke to a couple of universities in the area, certain Bucks business matters meetings, and it's about helping youngsters and people of all ages actually get into the media industry, because there is loads of jobs out there. You can go all over the world, and a local radio station, a bit like Stoke Mandeville Radio as well. That's another place if you want to start. You can start at hospital radio. That's definitely a nice place to start as well. But I got to admit, you know, it seems like we're losing that little bit of a stepping stone into the media sort of realm by losing MIX96, which is a shame. So you've gained FBL, but you've lost MIX96. I don't know.
Well, maybe there's room for both. We'll see.
There is room for both. There is.
We'll see how our campaign pans out. It's only been going a couple of weeks, and it's got a lot of momentum behind it at the moment. Yeah. So, as I say, we won't give up the fight very easily.
And you know what?
We're fighting tough battles here.
Yes, I think it's we've had some Aylesbury battles before, going back in the olden days of the Royals, be the peasants. So I think Aylesbury's used to that battle, and I do think, yeah, I don't think you're going to let it go easily. I know that much from working with you guys and gals, and just I think it's just naturally in the blood, to be fair, and it will be interesting to watch. But again, if we can help at FBL, we will. So I'm sure you'll let us know.
Thank you.
Anything else you would like to